who make sure that they are all safe. And the former president of US Montemont, Max Lafargue, was one of those who championed that, the doctor, president, and remembered here at Racing. Well, the atmosphere is not always the top here. Not always full, but it is tonight for Toulouse. The whistle goes and the final game of round 13 of Top 14 action kicks off with Toulouse in all black receiving the ball first. Coming into this game, don't have that good away form this season, which is a little unusual for them. Just the one win away from home in Top 14. Can usually rely on them to put a few upsets together. But again, it's another season where they really have been interrupted, and not just because of the World Cup. Of course, they didn't have Top 14 rugby during the World Cup, but it does interrupt the flow and the rhythm of a club. We saw last season how they came back hard after a season before that where they went down in the semi-finals against Cast, and there was a lot of criticism of Hugo Moller for not resting his star names when he should have done. Last season they got it spot on and came through and won the Top 14 title, but they still couldn't get into the final of the European Champions Cup. They're on their way again as the #1 side out of the EPCR competition this season, but it's Racing who are on the attack. Henri Chauvency into the 22. Racing free-flowing, just the way we like them. And it comes to the back from Clovis Lebaille, filling in for Nolan Legarec this week, who is away with the French national side in Marcoussis. Kick over the top by Chauvency. Oh, almost brilliant. Ibrahim Diallo playing the winger. And just not quite getting there. Well, he plays in the #6 jersey, which is where Sia Khaleesi plays for South Africa, but he's so good for Racing that he's kept his shirt for most of this season.
What a start from Racing. Beautiful gap that they punched into there as a last-minute delayed reflex sort of a call. It wasn't pre-planned. They surged upfield, and then I don't know if Henri Chauvency knew they had advantage, but certainly saw the opportunity. Hasn't been noted, certainly not in his younger days, for his kicking game, but that was pinpoint accurate, and I think Diallo pretty much had the try celebration on his mind there. I think it's very surprising that he coughed that one up, and a bit of a let-off for Toulouse early on.
Well, he scored a try on match day 1 of the Champions Cup against Harlequins.
Here it is here. Camille Sharp won't be thanking Lebaille for that pass, but anyway, copped it about the same time as he got La La La. It was the phase after that where nice little touch from Henri Chauvency, the captain.
Time off. Again, yeah, they're going to go back because I think that there might be some head contact here. I thought that's what they were looking at to start with, but
it can be pretty hard for some of these front rowers to actually flex low enough to, you know, they're used to hitting, especially when it's two front rowers up against one another, they're used to hitting at about that sort of height, and, you know, in the tackles sometimes trying to take that ball and all up around the chest is fraught with danger for a guy who can't get low quickly.
On suspicion de jeu déloyal avec un contact à la tête.
Toulouse have not had anybody sent off this season. The second row forward. Near Kane over the top of the ball. They're trying to bulldoze their way through. That was Boris Palou who got absolutely flattened. Ruma brings down the next ball carrier. Trying to come through again. Near Kane tries to bunny hop over the top of the ruck. Ball is available. Ibrahim Diallo has it. Diallo goes for the line out and is brought down by the hooker, Guillaume Cramont. Kamisha. He's well dealt with. Good defending here from Toulouse. However, here they come again, and over the line are they? It might have been held up, and the referee says it is. Terrific defence from the champions.
Whoa, that almost looked like, from the angle we've got this camera on, that there might have been a little touch from the ball on the ground there, but referee very, very quick to call that held up.
It was Clement Jacques who thought he might have got the ball down, but it's a goal line dropout. Straight down the throat of Tristan Tedder, the fullback. Decides not to kick. A bit of a rarity in the modern game. They decided to run it. Shah, nicely done once more. Feeding round. First touch for Sia Khaleesi. Diallo on the other side of the scrum takes it on. Out by Lebai. 28 years old, he's pretty experienced for one that doesn't play very often. Another kick over the top from Martin Meerland, and this time they'll go in. And the first try is scored by Donovan Tafafanua. Back in the side today after injury, and back in with the score. And Racing, well, 5 minutes of pressure at last pays off, and they needed it to.
Well, that's twice they've got into the Toulouse 22, slinging it out to that left-hand side and putting a kick each time. Whether that's the research they've done on Retier himself out on the right wing for Toulouse, or whether it's on the Toulouse defence, it's almost paid dividends the first time. It certainly has on this occasion. Great try from Racing. Looked very simple in the end, but the build-up work was all important.
Fourth try as well for the winger. There's some lovely movement here. It's classic Racing play. Forwards and backs all involved, and that's a great piece of play for Martin Melion, just 22 years old, in for Antoine Gibert today, who's away with the France national squad. And let's not forget, Finn Russell has moved to Bath this season, so there's a big hole there in that number 10 role. Tristan Tedder smacks it beautifully. Early advantage to Racing, 7 points to 0 against the champions Toulouse. And a good start for Stuart Lancaster's men, which we've been saying a lot, actually, this season.
It is a good start and good variation as well. It'd be tempting to hold on to the ball, especially with 14 men up against you in that defensive line, to keep holding and pushing away, pushing at it. But they've gone to the air twice now, and like I said, it almost paid the first time, and that was superb play for Racing. And Toulouse, the first time they've been down in Racing's half.
So got to get the exit right. Ibrahim Diallo can usually be relied upon to take a safe catch. Lebai calls in the caterpillar, which grows steadily out the back before the kick. Lebai actually looking for touch and finding it.
He's not a long way out of danger. They obviously wanted to get into touch, just restart again, put pressure on the Toulouse line-out. But if Toulouse does win that ball, prime attacking spot here, really to bounce back quickly if they can.
Just a third start for Clovis Lebai since he came in the summer. It's his 10th match, though, for Racing. Quickly taken. Good work from Cramont. Comes Aki. Tongan international. 31 years old now. He's so many years of excellence. Speaking of excellence, Dupont feeds it out into the path of Run Cruz Malia, playing at fly half today for Toulouse, where he's played only about 7% of his matches in his career. That is the trouble that they have with regards to availability of good fly halves. At the moment, Toulouse with Roman Ntamack still on his way back from that injury that kept him out of the Rugby World Cup. And of course, the man Thomas Ramos, who makes pretty much almost as good a fly half as him, also away in Marcoussis, getting ready for Ireland on Friday. Good rucking by Racing, just pushes Toulouse back, but they managed to keep hold of possession. Orange Capuzzo almost coming into play, scrum half, released by the Italian squad on Wednesday. They're getting ready to take on England next Saturday. Nieti, the loose-head prop, does nothing more than set up play for the next phase. Dupont looking for the space. Oh, it's nice. And it comes to Arthur Retier. Continuing his first season since arriving from La Rochelle. Started off at Racing a good few years ago. Ruma Here they come once more over the top from Blair Kingshorn, the Scottish international. Capuzzo with a little chip over, and the mark is called by the fly half, Martin Meliond. Well, a first attempt to get up to the try line from Toulouse, but Racing staying strong for the time being.
Fine touch there, Racing. I was just waiting in case they just tried to kick it long, which is a tactic more often used these days, not put the ball into touch. But they were just drifting a little bit of crossfield here, all of the Toulouse players, backs and forwards, and it just made it easy, really, for Racing to slide off and cover everyone. The passes weren't particularly accurate. Capuzzo had to make something out of nothing and couldn't do so in the end. But they probably just need a couple of straighten runners because they had plenty of numbers out there, Toulouse.
Yeah, the Racing defenders just able to fold across very easily. That's well won by Alban Placine, minus the ponytail these days. Antoine Dupont trying to barrel his way, I think, through Trevor Niakane, which is brave. Jack Willis, no longer a England international since he extended with Toulouse for this season, but is proving to be now one of the most important men in the scrum, and indeed in any of the ruck situations. There's a knock-on, and so a scrum. Speaking of which, 10 minutes gone, Racing 7, Toulouse 0. And the scoreline at the moment fairly reflects the flow of play at the moment. Clovis Lebaille taking Antoine Dupont for a little chariot race there. And Richie Arnold just taking his eye off the ball a little bit. Saw the tack coming in.
A little bit unlike Toulouse, really. They normally work like clockwork in those phase-by-phase, particularly when they got Dupont there at halfback. And I guess it reflects good physical tackles from Racing, which means that Toulouse don't get on the front foot. They don't flow onto the ball as easily and just getting in one another's way a little bit.
Alban Placine has been sacrificed to allow Joel Merkle to come on to make up the front row, with Loalala still serving his sin binning. He's got a minute and a half to go with that. Stable from both sides and quickly done by Racing. Schwanzi feeds it out into the path of Malia. Lebaille, oh, that was well grabbed onto, but he's actually gone forward in the end. So there's an advantage here for Toulouse. Kingshorn. In from Edinburgh as a wild card, and has fitted in really well. I think even he can't quite believe how well he's fitted into this Toulouse lineup. Ruma. Released from the French national side on Wednesday. Capuzzo, the same from the Italian squad. He gets absolutely pummeled by Talfa Fanua. Away goes Dupont. In fact, that was Retière, now Dupont. Arnold. Fasuele, the former Perpignan man. Dupont looks the other way. Kingshorn. And there's another advantage here for an offside against Racing. Dupont misses out one man again. Capuzzo. He's well brought down. Well, they're just feeding across again here, Racing, and they're dealing with it relatively easily. Merkle, his first touch in open play. The sin bin is now finished. Capuzzo. Still no way through. Dupont catches up with play and feeds it back in again to Richie Arnold. The Australian second row forward. Again, brought down easy. Netty inside Merkle. Quick ball this from Toulouse. There was a hint of a space over there on that far side, but they've come across again. Kingshorn brought down by Talfa Fanua. The try scorer for Racing. Willis. Jack Willis. Always difficult to bring down, and that's a mistake, I think, by Polianati. Merkle, not enough black shirts on this near side though, outnumbered by white and sky blue.
Avantage pénalité.
So we're going to come across for the penalty.
Yeah, and I think they've milked that pretty well, Toulouse. I think there was a hand on that ball ready to clear it, which normally is the signal that you can come through. Just let it go, let the defenders come through and suck them into the trap, but dicing with death a little bit. It's interesting to see how Toulouse are using Antoine Dupont, because we know he's training in the French squad. He's obviously playing in that next Sevens tournament coming up as we see Lala come back on the field with Placine. But Dupont's fitness will obviously be a lot different from what he's used to in 15s. So normally where he's at basically every single ruck for Toulouse, he's actually alternating a little bit. I've already seen him miss 2 or 3 different rucks, use other players in there to clear. And so, you know, his fitness is obviously going to be a factor. The fact that he's a very, very different type for him to play sevens.
Yeah, sevens is somewhat breathless compared to the 15s variety. Basically all back play. However, this is very much forwards play, and Toulouse trying to power their way towards the line. 15 minutes gone. They still haven't scored yet. Here comes Dupont. Dupont is over. Well, he feinted 2 or 3 times before he actually went for the gap he liked. And the Toulouse captain, who is not with the French national side, getting ready for Ireland in the Six Nations, is scoring tries for the champions of Top 14. And Toulouse are back in it.
He's an absolute genius in any context, the way he reads the game, Dupont, and normally tries to find other players around him to put them into space. But when there's an opportunity for himself, he was trying to get rid of the ball there. That's why he looked at a genuine prospect to pass the ball. Defenders ran off, as you see, just outside Chavancy. Finally came in a little bit too late. Talked about his fitness, how that will be different from sevens, and he's never been a slouch, Antoine Dupont. But presumably his acceleration has also sharpened up to play that particular version of the sport, and showing it there, close quarters.
That almost looked like a sevens try, didn't it, the way that he went through the gap?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to be, you know, lighter on your feet in sevens, quicker on your feet with that acceleration. And like I say, he's never been a slouch, but it's probably added a little bit to his game, where it might have taken away a little bit from his overall aerobic fitness in the 15s.
Blair Kinghorn will look for the extras. Sit that nicely, and we are tied at 7 points apiece. And the leaders and the champions at the moment cannot be split, with about 20 minutes gone.
Well, once they got down the rushing end, they just didn't let go, did they, Toulouse? It possibly from that reasonably weak clearing kick from Lubai, which he wasn't happy with either, but they're only 25 metres out from the line. They just stayed down there, Toulouse. Weight of possession, weight of numbers, and eventually they're going to find a hole.
Well, the start of this game has started every bit as way we would have wanted it to. Both sides have come here to win. So the exit strategy underway from Toulouse. Well taken by Racing. Again, not kicked by Tedder. He's decided to take it into contact. Lubai feeds it out into the path of Collinger, the loose head prop. Khaleesi bangs through 2 challenges, and then the volley by Arundel. Well, it's not often you get a mark called off a volley.
He did well there, Khaleesi, because he copped that contact. I think, who was that came in? Was that Retier on this side? Came in off his wing and made the hit, and Khaleesi just bounced. You go in like that, yes it was. Going like that, you've got to snuff that movement out, but he kept on his feet. Siya Khaleesi. Racing's turn now to apply some heat in the Toulouse half.
Khaleesi, for me, is one of those players who reminds me a bit of Gregory Aldrit, in that you don't always notice in the statistics what he's done, but you do notice when they're not playing, and the effect that has on the team's results.
Yeah, totally. Selfless. Some of those selfless acts that you want in the rucks and mauls, and then clean when they get the chance to carry.
Referee's blown, so everybody's going to have to stop. There's a knock-on by both sides, so scrum time to Toulouse.
And it must be a nice change for Siya Khaleesi as well to be playing and just not have to think about the responsibility of captaincy as well, which he has always been, you know, in South Africa and for the Springboks. But just to come along and play, be a part of a team where he's not looked to all the time. He can get in and look after himself, enjoy his rugby perhaps a little bit more rather than taking on all that worry and responsibility for the team.
One thing he is used to, though, is starting all of his games. You very rarely ever see Sir Khaleesi on the bench.
We've got to remember it was less than a year ago that he busted his knee up pretty badly too, and at that stage certainly wasn't even a decent prospect to go to the World Cup. He did, he won it, and now continues on with Racing. Incredible resilience.
New challenge. He's making himself very popular in the Ile-de-France, as the region that Paris is in is called. Gone backwards, says the referee. Picked up by Peter Aki.
No, fini, plaquage.
Again a tackle. Dupont this time will kick. Tedder again. Runs it straight back, the fullback. He's in the mood for attacking today. Somebody's gone. Somebody's not clearing away after the tackle. Alban Placine, I think, is the guilty man. And that's a bit foolish because Tedder looked a little bit isolated. Alban Placine just getting a little too enthusiastic with the jackal. And so the first penalty at the goalpost is about to happen from quite a long way out too.
It's been a pretty high-octane start to a Sunday night game. I know it's not the players' favourite to be kicking off at 9 p.m, not so much because they get tired. I mean, 9 p.m. is a regular kick-off time here in France, of course, but just the fact they don't get much of their weekend. They've got to spend it all field from Toulouse. The question's going to be whether his feet were out, I think, here at the time the ball touched the line. But you just cannot let your guard down against Toulouse anywhere on the field.
My first reaction was he got it down, but it was very, very tight.
The referee's confident in that pass, but they might check that as well. But he was comfortable. It's just going to be a question of Chavonsi taking those legs across the line.
Oh, I think he's out, isn't he? Yeah.
He's bounced with the ball a little short of the line, and in that time that he's gone across the line, his left thigh
has brushed the line, hasn't it?
That's not going to show anything this angle.
No. I think the one before showed us that he was in touch. That's not going to show us either.
Avant la ligne et que la cuisse passe en touche. Oui, Samy, s'il te plaît.
Well, the TMO is certainly telling the referee that he thinks that his thigh has touched the line before the ball has gone over the trailer. It sounds as though they're agreeing with each other, but still managing to have a discussion out of it.
Well, it's a great tackle, covering tackle from Henri Chavonsi, all the experience. Because so often these days, wingers going into the air there, it's try no matter whether you get to them or not, but he's managed to get him across, get the thigh onto the ground and across the line. If one thing the French know, it's frogs' legs, frogs' thighs, isn't it? The cuisse. And so they'll identify that as being out.
Well, the problem for Retier there was that he was forced to dive, I think, earlier than he wanted to because of Chavonsi arriving. It was a brilliant piece of defence. And as a result, when he landed, he wasn't actually over the line and had to sort of reach out again. And in the time that it took him to do that was when his leg, which was also bouncing, brushed the line. So we are still at 10-7. And that lovely piece of play will not be rewarded with points. In it comes then from Chap. Lebaille, Khaleesi trying to rummage his way through. Cramon trying to steal the ball, but Khaleesi's grip is stronger than that. So Lebaille is going to go for the aerial route. And he finds touch.
And that was a good clearance. He didn't have much angle there. As we see the attack from Toulouse, the little half break from Aki, got his arms free, kept the ball alive, known for that, of course, Toulouse. And then just that longer pass and a quick flick on, really. Like I said, you just cannot relax, even if it looks kind of innocuous. Bang, on it goes. Next thing, you're staring down the barrel of a try.
Well, they might be staring down the barrel of a try again here because Toulouse are back on the attack with 15 or so minutes to go until the break. Good tackle by Khaleesi. Recycled once more though. Willis feeds it out to Capuzzo. Oh, Capuzzo, the Italian there, a little bit wild. Toulouse having to go backwards in order to go forwards. Guitoun to Retier. Two players that combined for that almost try. Aki, so hard to bring him down the first man as Labai found there. He just went straight through him. Little tip over the top here from Dupont. Guitoun has got it. Again from Dupont, slightly further this time. Looking over to that far side. Just too far in front of Capuzzo, and it goes out into touch. Well, they're starting to prod and probe here, aren't they, Toulouse?
And again, the variation is impressive. You know, they're punching up like we see Aki there. Little kick over the top, there it is there, that was gathered in. And then straight away again, it's not often after you see a little attacking kick like that and you've got to go backwards as a defence that you expect another kick to get put in. But Capuzzo on the far right-hand side had identified it, got the communication into Dupont.
I must admit, I stopped trying to predict what Dupont was going to do a long time ago. He could do anything whenever he wants. Nicely done from Racing. Palu charges into the gain line. Out by Clovis Labai once more. He looks for touch again. Will he get there? Not yet. Capuzzo, very aware of where the line was, brought it down well. Here come Toulouse again. Dupont. Oh, lovely. Jack Willis. Ruma. The two back row forwards combining well. Capuzzo coming into play, scrum half. Aki, lovely. And we're back in the same position again. Back inside by Retier. Still can't get over that line here on this left-hand side. Cramel. Brought down by Niakane. Jack Willis. Brought down by Diallo. Racing holding on.
Plaqueur qui sort pas avantage.
Aki finds a hole. Aki's got the through. Can he get it down? Referee's looking and decides it's held up and he's going to come back for a penalty on this near side of the pitch.
He did well. There's such strength from Aki. He didn't look likely when he first got the ball, but here it goes. The big fend went out and it was Kinghorn. I think there he is. Got under that ball. The saviour for Racing for the moment.
Yeah, Tristan Tedder for Racing going really well. Getting underneath.
Sorry. Aki's been prominent in a lot of the Toulouse attacks, and there down that left side again, as you said, where Retier almost scored just before. And it was Chavonsi coming across with his number, hitting redial.
Again, yeah.
But they kept their composure at Toulouse, even with a kind of a forceful tackle there from Racing.
Cramel. Oof. Just about taken in the middle by Faciele. Setting up the driving maul. It's not going to go anywhere fast, though, because there's a Toulouse man on the deck. Cramel, though, peels off the side. Dupont. Back over the top again. Oh, they've missed it. Oh, that was nearly the interception. Tafafanua has it. Tristan Tedder wouldn't have made any difference, but he almost managed to run the length of the field there. But we're going to come back again. You said about Redal. It's another penalty over here on this left-hand side.
And again, the vision of Dupont, he just always seems to have so much time, but while he's running, he's scanning. Even without the ball, he's scanning, looking for opportunities, finding space. That big surge upfield before that came back out to Retier's wing, that was Dupont who started that out. He only needed to take a couple of steps off the ruck, and suddenly the forwards are on the front foot. They're running into one tackler, not two. The offloads can occur. So he's just such a huge part of his team's attack, Antoine Dupont. We knew that, of course, but it just continually astounds me that the skill and the ability and the vision that he shows every match.
He literally slows time down, doesn't he, when it comes to the decision-making process. Cramel.
Give him the ball here in the lineup.
Richie Arnold. Again, they set up the driving maul. Trying to wheel it around to the right, which is what they did the first time. Cramel has it at the back. They come back through. Referee says let go on the ground. Here they come once again then. Peter Aki. It's a great tackle in the middle by Olivier Clemenchak. However, they're going to come again. Kinghorn, brilliant tackle by Tafafanua. Capuzzo, Jack Willis takes it on. Another tackle, Dupont. Feeds it into Lolala. And the tight head is brought down. Inching closer. Richie Arnold. Sia Khaleesi wraps him up.
Ballon disponible.
Dupont.
Non, blanc, la ligne. Non, jouez là.
Jack Willis decides he won't get involved. Peter Aki. Brought down by Melion. And they're over. Relentless pressure from Toulouse. Breaks through. And it's Piola Fasili who comes through with his first try for Toulouse since he arrived from Perpignan. Yeah, is the way it is. That was absolutely irresistible.
Yeah, absolute joy and delight on the face of Piola Fasili. And you wonder how much of this was pre-planned from Peter Aki to shoot that ball back so quickly. Richie Arnold, huge in the line out, and then he got a chance carrying the ball in future phases as well. Dupont there, as usual. They'd gone one straight in the Toulouse backs, which is good, just to keep the Racing defence honest. Here, the last phases, there's the ball where Peter Aki flicked it back through the legs quickly. That quick ball, and then against the grain, the pick and go. Really skillful, really quickly done. Doesn't give Racing the chance to get set with their defence either side of the tackle and make that hit.
Well, a moment ago, you were looking for Toulouse to go straight at the line rather than just fold across. Maybe they were listening. The extras coming from Juan Cruz Malia. Usually a centre. Fly half today. Oh, and he's put that one wide. Well, he doesn't often play at fly half, and he doesn't often take the kicks at goal either.
Here's the end, and that's great play. This is what they do practice on during the week as well. The skill, the acceleration from going really low to have to pick up that ball. It's a big body to get down low and to do it so quickly and seamlessly. Charge over the line. Reward for all the hard work and all the drills from the forwards.
No Thomas Ramos, who normally takes the kicks, and of course not even Roman Ntamack, who also doesn't take the kicks unless Ramos is not on the field. Neither of them are here, though, for different reasons. So then, Toulouse have come from behind a lead by 12 points to 10. Melion takes it well. Seen there, very close to taking him in the air. Well past the half-hour mark here, in an absorbing first half at the Paris La Défense Arena. Blair Kinghorn kicks it back where it came from. And finds space as well. Has it gone too far? It has. And will go dead. Got an unlucky bounce.
Yes, and I guess that's a little adjustment potentially for the stadium and for other artificial turfs, that the ground is harder. And so if it does get that forward bounce with the odd shape of the ball, it will roll and roll and roll. So easy in hindsight, Angus, isn't it? But just not quite as much give in an artificial turf, of course, as in real ground.
Dmitry Shashevsky, one of the great servants of Racing as player and now coach.
Real bonus for Racing there, because they would have been dropping out from, I don't even know these days whether it's goal line or the 22, but at best the 22. But now they come 70 metres back up the field with an attacking opportunity. Captain Chavancy, will he be used to go straight? Will he be used as a decoy runner?
Another one of those unsung heroes. He doesn't often score tries, but a great leader and has been captain for a few years now of Racing.
Great to play alongside when I had my 2 seasons at Racing. Gee, loved tackling, making mine for me as well. Not the first to have to do that either, I tell you.
Well, that scrum didn't last long. Yep, no stability.
They'll call it again. Yeah. It's a bit of a nothing penalty, that short arm, the free kick. There's nothing much you can do. You can't go to touch. You can tap and go, maybe go old school with a bit of a wall. Or I see that starting to come back into rugby as well. Put a wall of 4 or 5 players there and multiple runners. But
well, you tell Sia Khaleesi he's not the captain because he just can't help but lead.
Well, that's good. The thing is, he can do it as he sees fit and when he chooses, which is great. He just doesn't have to do it all the time. The scrum here, of course, concentrates 16 players in one small part of the field. 18 if you add the halfbacks. So that's what Racing want to do. They had a move called, presumably go through with the same one, the backs.
Yeah, he had his first game watching in the Parisian derby. Here they come, Labai. Shah picks and goes. Taken by Ibrahim Diallo, but Rouma is in jackling. There's an advantage, though, for Racing. They're up to the 5-metre line. Labai feeds once more. Collinger. Ball feeds back. Niakane is ignored this time. Little kick. Oh, that's clever from Melion, but Clement Chac couldn't read the bounce. Doesn't matter because they are playing an advantage and they'll come back for the penalty.
Well, they were looking for that same kick over past Capozzo. Racing, they realised he'd hung back this time, so not a bad adjustment to make. The little grubber kick just went a little bit too far. We'll take the 3.
Now they've decided they want to go in front rather than go for the victory straight away. They will be quite disappointed if they're not leading at half-time after the half that has unfolded, particularly with the start that they had. He rather got away with them, or away from them. But they're coming back again well towards the half-time whistle. This nearly worked. That was so close.
Poor old backs were standing there. They had their move called twice from the scrums, and the forwards did their best to hold on to the ball and just play their own game. And saying that, they did it pretty well, Racing. Charging up towards the line with Khaleesi involved.
Tristan Tedder then. Again, hits it well. It straightens up, goes through, and Racing are back in front at 13 points to 12. Two presidents sitting side by side, looking very unimpressed.
Probably wondering who booked their tickets for them. It's all well and good being friendly rivals, but I don't know if you want to sit right beside you during the game.
So 3.5 minutes to go. Ibrahim Diallo, as usual, picks up the restart and heads forward. Clovis Labai lets the runners know that they're about to come off the starting line. This time it's just about found touch.
Décale un peu. Blanc, la ligne. Décale, chef. La ligne pour vous. 9. Pas de fin sur le jeu au pied.
Clovis Labai enjoying his first season at Racing since coming in from Pau. Some of the injured players for Racing, including one Imhoff there at that last shot. Argentine international.
En avant qui va en touche.
Getting a little bit cute at the front of the line out there, Toulouse. Great coming up with some variations, but some are a little more intricate than others. So knock on, Racing gets the option. Because the ball went into touch from a knock on, do they want a scrum or a line out? Scrum normally would be the safer call.
Racing were the top home side until Toulon won again last night in a scrappy kind of match against La Rochelle. Just about scraping themselves over the touchline. 30 points from their 7 matches so far, 28 for Racing. Toulouse are the 3rd best home side. Racing, though, are also the best away as well. And incredibly, Stade Francais are too.
Racing yet to lose at home, aren't they? Yet to lose. Yet to lose.
I know what you did there.
I'll tell you that. 6-0 they are at home. And like you said before, Toulouse, for them, a pretty dire record on the road this year. So statistically, you would have been thinking it's a laydown for Racing. Certainly not the case.
Great work from Hassan Collinger in his battle with Nepo Lolala. Earning Racing a penalty with a minute to go until half-time. Melion has been looking good, actually, in this first half. Slightly lanky youngster, but looks like he's got a good head on those shoulders with some of the decision-making.
He looks pretty composed, doesn't he? He looks comfortable. Doesn't look like he's trying too hard. You know, he's got a very experienced guy alongside him in Henri Chavancy, so that always helps. for a young player in the 10 jersey. Got big boys like that up front giving you some good ball helps as well.
Not everyone's entertained, apparently. But we are. It's a good game, this. Oh, and he ran Diallo there. Was he allowed to come down properly? No foul, says the referee, as Khaleesi takes it on. So that answers that question. Out by Labai. Collinger. Loose head prop. Takes a couple of mates with him. Into the last few seconds. Oh, that was a bit loose, and Peter Aki picks it up. That's the half-time siren. Last play unless there's a penalty. Ruma. And that was knocked forward by Antoine Dupont, which is something of a rarity. And that brings us to the end of the first half. An entertaining first half it is too. Tries from Taufa Fanua first for Racing, but then an answer from Fasuele for Toulouse. Dupont scored as well, a lovely try. And in the end, it is 13-12 to Racing. Well, that was a quick exit, and already they're back into the other half. What did you make of his first half as a fellow fly half? What do you think he did?
Well, I thought he just showed composure. I think he showed confidence. I don't think he tried to do too much. Millions, you know, it's easy to be nervous as a young player and get in and just try and do everything and prove yourself. But he just fitted in, played his role within the team quite quietly and confidently and accurately, most importantly.
Well, Racing have won that line out. Boris Palou trying to go past Jack Willis. A little bit of a lack of control on that, and the ball goes into touch.
A bonus possession for Racing there, getting up and competing. A little bit in disarray there. He's a great line-out proponent, Richie Arnold, but seemed like his line-out disintegrated around him, giving Racing a bit of a shot. They've still got to put the jumper up in the air to get that reward, though.
Well, Wenceslas-Lorry had no trouble getting into the air. He was a good foot and a half above everybody else as Camille Chat throws it in. It wasn't straight, but it was towards the Toulouse side. But Racing did well to win that. Palou again. Labai. Melion decides to keep the ball. Well, for a slight man there, he's made quite a lot of progress. Labai. Collinger. Slightly more heft on him as he goes into the contact area. Shah. Oh, and Labai's let that one slip up. Capuzzo got the challenge in. And suddenly Racing are scrambling to keep possession. Good defending this from Toulouse, and there is not an awful lot of what they did on the training ground coming out so far in the second half from Racing. Better on Lorraine. And Henry Arundel nearly got his first real attacking move together there. The English sensation. Toulouse wasting no time in getting it going again the other way. Kinghorn, nice offload. Rumat, Jack Willis. Good movement again. Here comes Dupont. Aki, back to Capuzzo. This is much more like it. This is what Racing are missing at this early part of the second half. Kinghorn again. The Scottish fullback feeds it off to Capuzzo. Cuts back inside. Dupont. Kick out to the far side. Is it going to be good? Arundel has got it and calls for the mark. And Retier again is denied on the try line.
Well, again, Toulouse with that ability to create something out of seemingly nothing. And it comes from skills, yes. It comes from support play, yes. But it also comes from incredible communication. Accurate communication that players have confidence in with one another as they keep the ball in as well, Toulouse. Danger's not over yet for Racing.
Blair Kinghorn takes it up again. A little bit looseness from Racing at the beginning of the second half. Dupont. Willis, nice cut back from the former England international. Dupont, that looked a bit high from Collinger. Simple penalty, says the referee. Fasuele to Cramel. Support runs here coming all the time for the man in possession. Kinghorn. Guitoun has come out to Capuzzo. Tedder puts up a wall. Capuzzo goes to ground. Placide. Again, there's a confidence about this Toulouse side when they come forward. Retier. Back inside Peter Aki, brought down by Lore. Guitoun still going, Guitoun! How did he not put that one on the deck? High tackle on Dupont.
Well,
I think Hugo Moller thinks that might be a try.
They've gone all but there, Toulouse. I mean, if you're reviewing it, you might look at that very first landing to see if that ball just got a little bit of grass. There were plenty of arms around. That doesn't matter in terms of the number of hands on the ball. There's just enough doubt there, I think, to say that there were enough hands under there. But amazing that he didn't quite get it down. He did very well, Guitoun, stayed in support, had a couple of good runs in that movement, and went oh so close.
Ballon.
Yeah, we need a ball. Well, he didn't really have any right to have a chance to put that ball down in the first place, but all of a sudden, he'd got those extra 2 meters. It's almost as if the defenders had decided they were going to let him go over, and they did everything they could just to make sure he couldn't put it on the deck. So it's the penalty. Toulouse have found touch. Expect a driving ball to be just around the corner. Racing are in a bit of trouble, though, at the moment. All the momentum is with the away side. Cramon safely into the arms of Richie Arnold. And again, he turns and tries to pull them towards the try line. The ball is going, ball is moving all the way through this. Cramon's going to get there, and he does. Again, a feeling of irresistibility, of inevitability. And Guillaume Cramon, the 23-year-old hooker, gets his 3rd try of the season.
Great work from the Toulouse forwards. They kept control here. This is the key. And they stayed straight. So even when Racing players were branching off around the sides, they kept straight, they kept in a line. And in the end, too much strength from Cramon.
Rouma dragging Willis, dragging Fasuele, dragging Cramon across the try line.
Nothing illegal in that at all. They got the ball to the back really well early, Toulouse, and that's where Cramon got his hands on it. And then they stayed true. They stayed bound. They stayed straight. And that's why they were able to, when it all disintegrated, they were able to keep going and get Cramon over the line.
And it's the away supporters inside the Paris La Défense Arena who are enjoying the early part of this second period.
They're an easy team to support, Toulouse, as well. Why there might be a lot of Toulousains here, a lot of neutral supporters also will have found themselves Toulouse supporters. They play a great brand of rugby.
Kinghorn sends it off, absolutely down the middle. And it's 13 points to 19. It's a 6-point lead now for the defending top 14 champions. A lot of work for Sia Khaleesi to do. Well, the difference between the two sides at the moment is the ruthlessness in which one side is finishing off their chances and the other side isn't. So back underway again. Jack Willis is under this one. First job done. Antoine Dupont can't dig the ball out. Finally it comes. Hugo Moller must be absolutely pleased that he's got bonus games out of Antoine Dupont this season. He would normally be without him at this point with the Six Nations around the corner. He would usually be at Marcuse's with Fabien Galtier and his support staff. He gets him for 2 extra games before he disappears off to the Sevens tournament, but he would have gone anyway with the Six Nations. And he is making his presence felt here in the capital. Wenceslas Lore comes into play, scrum half. Cabichat, nice little sidestep, goes into Rouma, recycles. Former French international himself, Cabichat.
Au départ, c'était bon, hein?
Clovis Labai back on his feet. Taken quickly. Outside the 22. No mark to be called on this one. And it's been knocked on by Blue. Comes, that's nice to finish. One towards Maria. Up to the 22. An amazing run from the Argentine. Of course there's support from Dupont. Capuzzo back inside again. All the flamboyant stuff coming from the men in black at the moment. It's been knocked on there, though, by Nepo Lolala. Rather unfortunate end to an explosive break upfield.
Now, and he's really gutted, Nepo Lolala, isn't he? It's a big ask for these big men. They're getting around, they're having to go from clean out to clean out to clean out. And then suddenly there's a break upfield, 60 metres, and they get there and support, get a pass and cough it up.
Well, that run by Juan Cruz Malia. Speed and power, breaking tackles. It's all that his teammates could do to catch back up with him again.
Well, they had the advantage, didn't they, Toulouse, from a knock-on from Racing. Racing almost looked like a couple of their players switched off and thought they were going to a scrum. And off he went. He's obviously, as an outside back, he's got that longer range speed and speed endurance.
Well, it's the sort of break you would expect Roman Entomac to make. Here comes Malia, full 40 metres, and he stayed on his feet really well, allowed the support to come.
Nice little offload from Antoine Dupont, also getting up in support. That's encouraging for the French sevens. That, I mean, he's always there as well, but it just reinforces how good he is in the open spaces. Here he goes here, bounces through one, takes on another tackler and reverse flick out his left hand.
I think you could also say that it was good from Racing, the way they got men back as well to cut that off. As you see the list of injured, and that's in addition to those that they've lost to the Six Nations.
One of the big differences between the teams has been the speed of the ball from the rucks. And we saw that several times there when Racing had possession. It just slowed up and it just affects their momentum. Whereas Toulouse get the ball on the front foot, they just keep going, they keep recycling it. Dupont doesn't have to go in and fight, wrestle for the ball out of the back of a ruck. Whereas Racing too often are getting that static ball, they're having to restart, regenerate the speed. And I think that's playing a big difference at the moment in Toulouse's ascendancy in this match.
Maxime Baudon has come on in the third row. He's just extended with Racing for an extra couple of seasons. Fed by Clovis Lebaille. Good solid scrum. And Racing got it out just before Toulouse put on a push. And he finds touch. Well, they need to find a little bit of calm to Racing, because they're being bullied a little bit at the moment into mistakes. They're being rushed. And Toulouse are doing a great job of turning any error that comes their way into a positive attack forward, as Max Spring comes on for Donovan Taufa-Fanua.
This is Taufa-Fanua's try right at the start of the first half. Hasn't had too many opportunities since then, and that's kind of a symptom of how hard Racing's having to work to get that go forward. Certainly a lot harder than Toulouse is having to work to get their metres.
Cramon, deep, not straight. Well, those long throws are always harder. So the line out or the touch, line out or the scrum, excuse me, being offered to Henri Chevancy.
Plenty of luminaries out on a Sunday night in Paris. Late start, they'll probably be having dinner after this too, I think. Kicks off at about 11:30.
So Henri Chevancy is elected to go for the scrum.
Flexion! Lié!
Another good scrum, and Toulouse pushing forward. They popped up in the front rows, but the referee is happy for Racing to carry on. Melion with a great kick into the 22. Kinghorn calms himself. And Racing will be pleased with that.
Yeah, well, that may as well have been a 50-22 because they get a line out inside the Toulouse 22. Really good kick. Good decision from Henri Chavancy as well. It's not often you find that much space. But they obviously did enough, maybe running down the blind side to drag Kinghorn across to the wrong side and then leaving all that space open for Melion. But you still got to make sure the execution is right, and it was a well-struck kick.
Yes. How many chances he will get in the future is a good guess, with Owen Farrell arriving next season. Antoine Dupont is the de facto #1 choice this season. Here comes Camille Chat around the back of that line now. Brought down by his opposite number, Guillaume Cramont. Forward by Maxime Baudon has just come on. We're in the number 19. Melion hit the moment he tried to pass the ball, and there was a little lack of accuracy on it as a result. Ange Capuzzo very sharply off his mark.
Yeah, the opportunity was there for Racing. They just haven't been as clinical with their execution as Toulouse. And again, I think that comes down to communication. It's such an underrated skill. But what do we mean by communication? We mean talking early, and that's what the Toulouse players do. They commentate the game, they talk early. There's no point expecting a guy to suddenly pass a clutch pass at the last second or last nanosecond if he hasn't had any communication prior, and it's really a good skill that Toulouse is showing as a team.
Change at hooker for Racing. Yannick Tarrant has come on for Camille Chat. Josh Brennan has come on as well in the second row for Toulouse.
Non, lâchez au sol. Lâchez, Noir. Non. Allez là, jouez plus, Noir.
And Merkler is back on as well. And also a change on the right-hand side of the scrum as well. Trevor Diakane, the World Cup winner, has been replaced by the Georgian international, Gia Kalishvili. Up to the 22 again. Racing, but they've lost the ball. That's great by Capuzzo. He might be the lightest man on the pitch, but brilliant work. And that's playing the ball when it was still in the ruck. He belies his small stature, Ange Capuzzo, sometimes.
Yes, he looks slight and small out on the field. He's actually not. He's taller than you would think, and he's certainly very strong, and that was a timely steal. But it's guys like Capuzzo and the likes of Damien McKenzie or whatever who don't seem to be big brutes of guys who show that if you're really good at stuff, if you're quick or if you're really skillful, this is still a sport for you to potentially do well in. So he certainly put his body on the line then and copped the result, but he's also stolen the ball and got Toulouse out of trouble.
Cramont. It's well done into Placide. Again, Toulouse know that this driving ball has worked for them. However, Dupont decides to pull the plug on that. Malia, lovely hurdle by Capuzzo over the top of Clément Jacques.
No, il lâche pour moi. Lâche.
Holding on after the tackle. Well, we've just been singing his praises, but unfortunately he's made a mistake there, although you're looking a little bit dubious.
Yeah, look, I thought he might have had support there, enough support to have had that call to ruck, but he did well to hurdle the falling Racing defender when he first got the ball. I think he just got hit out of the blind spot before he had a chance to get the ball out to his support. Bit of a shame there. Good attack from Toulouse. Again, more accurate with their close quarter passing and their behind passes than Racing have been. And saying that, Racing now down hot on attack and with a chance to perhaps even taking the lead again.
Well, there's a big difference between a line out on the 22 and on the 5-metre line. There's still a long way to go from there. And I think they've lost the ball. One against the head, and so they hand that advantage straight back the other way. Kick by Toulouse. Straight down the throw to Veuch Arundel. Just trying to throw the ball wild this time. A little bit of desperation almost in that. Lubai. Desperately trying to get some sort of momentum. Puts her in again, and it's a big challenge. there on a back row forward. Khaleesi. Nice little offload by the South African captain of the national side. Again, there's no real drive, there's no real sort of plan obvious at the moment. Non-Cruz Malia. Back to make it safe off the outside of the boot. How much is the assistant going to give him? All the way up to the halfway line by the looks of it.
One thing that does surprise me, Angus, is the very few times you've mentioned the name Henry Arundel. You know, it's easily said, but when you've got a player of that extreme pace, like this guy as well, Kapwotso, don't you try somehow, rather than not just shoveling the ball out to them willy-nilly, but at least put something in place to allow them to have a chance to bring their lightning speed to really put some pressure on the opposition defence and at least get them into the game. And he just hasn't had that chance tonight, Arundel. No,
he's already had 6 tries, though, for Racing in his first season since arriving in French rugby. Oh, that's been stolen by Iki2. Jack Willis. Another mistake by Racing, handing the momentum back again to the visitors. Alban Placine goes to the deck. Retière, Arnold. And there's Dupont out there in the sort of the inside centre position. Dupont back the other way. Kinghorn. They've been linking up well, scrum half and full-back quite regularly through the game. Dupont using his strength once more, brought down. Cramon picks and goes. He's going to come back for the penalty to Toulouse. Going in off your feet.
This will be tempting to take 3 points, Toulouse here, and just get themselves outside that 7-point gap. Kinghorn stepped forward.
Yep, that's what they've gone for.
They score plenty of tries to lose, but they are ruthless as well. Just taking account of the scoreboard here as
Benarous there was the man who went off his feet trying to jackal. You can really see the difference, though, can't you, from the flow of play between the two sides. Racing just look like they're forcing it all the time, as well as it's just happening for Toulouse.
Yeah, just a bit more laboured, Racing, aren't they? And I think it does come down to the quality of ball coming out of the ruck, and that relies on several factors, not being dominated by the tackle, but also a good ball placement and really accurate and efficient cleaners.
Another good strike by the Scottish fullback Blair Kinghorn. And all of a sudden it's a 9-point lead for Toulouse at 13 points to 22. Don't even know what to say about that, but it doesn't make me want to eat prawns. So Tristan Turner gets us underway here with Racing, who are unbeaten at home all season, at least in top 14. Really not looking like a side that has yet to lose here domestically. Only defeat they've had so far to Harlequins on the opening day of the European Champions Cup. Oh, knocked on. Was that Meliond? Toulouse have the advantage. Oh, that's brilliantly picked off by Peter Aki. Off his shoelaces. Alexander Ruma. Jack Willis. Aki on his feet once more. Malia through to Kinghorn. Kinghorn is put on his the ground by Arundel. Ruma, he knocks it on. So now the advantage has gone the other way because the previous one had already ended. So what will Racing do now? No overlap yet. So back the other way comes Max Spring. Became a French international last year, but has not been included in the World Cup squad, or indeed in the Six Nations one so far. Ruma brought that run down. Out again. Spring once more. Retière holding on to him. James Hall is the man who's come on at scrum half, incidentally, for Racing. He feeds it out once more into Palu. Serves here, Khaleesi. Khaleesi trying to provide the inspiration. Hall, better from Racing. much better. Merkle. Kaliashvili.
Avantage.
Advantage to Racing. So a chance here, a shot to nothing if they can take advantage of it. Maxime Baudon, the latest to carry. Hall out to Meliand. Turn here by Clementchak. Support coming from his captain. And the referee says there's no advantage, so he's going to come back. Much more like it, though, from Racing.
Yeah, well, they looked good when they got on the front foot, but it wasn't a team effort to get themselves there. Well, it was individual brilliance from Siya Kolisi, a great run. And what would he have given to have had some close support on his right? He had supporters left and right. They didn't quite get off their line to get close enough to give Kolisi the option to just get a short pass to them. Racing stay on attack, but they might have been able to square that away with a try straight off Kolisi's run.
Going to get the chance here to go from the line out.
Attends, arrête du temps. 8 et 13. 8 changements.
More substitutions coming. Louis Barassi is number 22.
Et le 8. Faut que tu te reposes.
Reasonably quiet night for
Banos is the man coming on, only 21 years old. There he is.
How exciting that these young guys, who will often be blooded at this stage of the season while the internationals are away, but how exciting for the young Toulouse players to come on and play alongside the likes of Antoine Dupont, who would normally be missing, of course, and running off him, getting that front foot ball, seeing him snipe around the side, commit a couple of defenders and charging into gaps off his shoulder. Exciting times. Rumar, like I said, has had a little bit of a quiet night, but doesn't mean he hasn't been working hard in the tight.
Yannick Tarid. Into Palu. Into Polianati, excuse me. Driving ball trying to be established, but even that's gone a bit awry, to be honest with you. Fed out to Kolisi again. Kolisi piles into 3 different Toulouse defenders. Picked up again by Hall. Scrum half now at the bottom of the ruck. Yannick Tarid comes in, and it's Belarus who's going to play scrum half this time. Good run from the loose head prop. Hall. Kolisi. Been denied a try a couple of times in games since he arrived in the summer. The South African. Kaliashvili is at the back of this pile-up. Georgian prop tries to rumble forward. Tries to go over the top of Leo Banos. Palu. Just a metre away. They need this Racing. Hall will come back the other way. Nicely done. Meliand. Well, it's got a very improvised sort of feel about it, this from Racing. Oh, the referee's going to get a card out, is he?
Le 20 en jeu et le 18, s'il vous plaît. Backer.
Joshua Brennan is the man who's number 18, and he's looking resigned to his fate already.
23 sur le côté, hors jeu, et le plaqueur ici, capitaine.
Yellow card to Toulouse, their second of the game.
Capitaine, le choix, s'il vous plaît. 1, 2 et 3 fautes de plaqueur ici. La première.
Got the option of 3 different locations from at which a penalty could be awarded.
Which explains why the yellow card was given.
Yeah, well, of course, some offsides are more material than others.
Attention,
so what can we pick out of this?
Well, that perhaps Racing aren't quite as clinical with their chances as Toulouse at the moment.
Tarik. Again, successful with the line out, driving ball established, but they're heading back towards the touch line at the moment. Hall, I think, might take this. Does well. Chuvonsi rides one challenge and then makes it inside the 5-metre line. Hall has his hand on the ball again. The referee says the ball is out. And Toulouse turn the ball over and repel the attack. And another attacking opportunity escapes the sky blue and white.
I think that was Retier, was it? They got in there. I thought initially it was Antoine Dupont because, you know, he's just a ball of muscle over the ball. And it would have been just like him to pick the moment to get in there, but they're all congratulating Arthur Retier.
Yeah.
On y va, on joue, allez. On joue.
Well, there is the injury list. We're not wishing anything on Richie Arnold by showing you that. There's some real talent out. Merfo, Flamand, Gelon, all... Well, I say Merfo's not quite a French international yet, but he almost is. They've been trying for a long time to get the enormous Australian-born second row forward into French colours. Big tackle on Khaleesi. Toulouse really tonight against the leaders, showing just why they're the champions. The strength in depth in their squad is impressive. And there's Retier jackling successfully. Timing in the jackal is everything. So whether you get penalised for going into the ruck or timing it just as it's coming back out again. As Saï comes on, Chauvency goes off. Experienced centre, Francis Saï. Guillaume Cramont, a much less experienced hooker, has his hands on the ball as it goes into the air. Good, well taken by Tenner, but he's immediately hit by Peter Aki, who wants to take him over the try line with ball and everything. Emery's come on for Polianati, incidentally. And Toulouse, off they go again with Retier. Placide, Netty, Merkler, advantage over for the knock-on, and that ball is wriggled free, and Sia Khaleesi has got his hands on it. Well, somebody's put oil on the ball all of a sudden. Bellion finally gets control of it, kicks and finds touch. Well, that was messy.
Yes, I think they'll all be relieved. They're the players that they get a chance to reset. Retier, it's almost like they're playing a dual halfback system at the moment. I wonder if it's because of the legs of Antoine Dupont into the second half, but he's been in there to make that steal before. He did a little pick and go there. Khaleesi saving the day for Racing.
Classic Khaleesi.
Detail is probably one thing I think that Toulouse has been a lot better on tonight, and it really has reflected in the quality of the possession, the cleanliness of the ball that's been coming out to Dupont versus Le Bay.
Cramont. Won by Leo Banos. Nice tick there for the 21-year-old in his first line out. Good counter though by Racing. Dupont has it though, goes back the other way. Jack Willis almost trips over Netty, his teammate. There he goes. He just weighs up the options, does Antoine Dupont. It just makes the defenders think, what's he going to do? However, Racing have made the right decisions there because they've turned the ball over. Suspiciously close to looking forward, those passes, but it's into space. And Juan Cruz Malia is under pressure inside his own try line, under pressure, and does really well to get the ball away.
Well, that's typical, isn't it? I've spent the last 15 minutes talking up the ruck quality of Toulouse tonight, and then they go and
do that.
Turn it over to Racing. There's Khaleesi in the previous passage of play.
That's not even the one you're talking about.
And here's the one on Richie Arnold. They were very quick on that, Racing. One of the few occasions that
Khaleesi again
really haven't cleaned out the first threat very well. It shows the difference that it makes, though. Toulouse haven't had that pressure on them at the ruck all night. They've been able to go forward, make easy yards. Whereas Racing is really battered at times and it's slowed down, become static. They still look potent when they've had an opportunity, but it just hasn't been easy for them.
One thing you don't really associate with Racing is the word laborious. Usually it's them turning on the style and the flair and the passing. They have struggled tonight. Netty's gone off. Malley has come on. So the change at loose head prop for Toulouse. And also a change at hooker as well, with Yann Bobilla coming on for Guillaume Cramont. It's Racing though who have possession. That's beautifully taken. The back by Saï. That's better. Tristan Tenner almost flew. Wasn't held, so got back up again and carried on. They're inside the 5-metre line. As dangerous as they've been looking throughout the whole game. Kayashvili wasn't the best ball to him. He was kind of sat back when he took that. Here they come again, Arundel. No way through. Baudon was the next to take it. Again, the counter ruck coming from Toulouse, and suddenly Racing have got to start again from the 22. Tenner picks it up once more, surrounded by black shirts, needs support. As we head towards the 70-minute line, Hall feeds it out to Kayashvili. Bellion knocks it on. Advantage to Toulouse, you can hear the cheers and whoops from the fans or the bench, I think that was. Toulouse edging their way towards a victory as we head towards the 10 minutes to go mark. Racing will have it back again. It's really scrappy, this passage of play, for the last 5 minutes or so. Palou. Say. Held up by Fasuele, but tackle called, no more. Meliard finds touch inside the 22, but it will be the line out to Toulouse. Looking like he's been through it. There's the young fly half for Racing. And he has, because this is the champions. We're not messing about tonight.
This is this cut back from Racing, going against the grain with all that cover defence going across. Got oh so close. Good tackling by Toulouse tonight. And I've got to say, it's been good refereeing too. The use of the advantage law has been very, very well applied tonight.
Here's Babia, first attempt, and he's got a bit long.
There was plenty of pressure on that Toulouse line out there. They have conceded a couple tonight to Racing. So Racing was always going to throw up a competitor in the air.
Scrum called by Racing.
There's that nothing penalty again, the free kick. All you can really do is go for a scrum. Peter Aki's been fully involved physically tonight again. But some nice touches as well. Went pretty close to scoring. Timing on that tackle was perfect as he waited for Tedder to come down from taking the high ball. Big part of the Toulouse effort tonight, Peter Aki.
Yeah, 4 matches for Tonga at the recent World Cup, including a try against Romania. Tonga look like they've made some progress. World Rugby's plan to spread the finances as much as anything around the Pacific nations is beginning to bear fruit. Super Rugby Pacific is helping with that as well. Awful lot of Pacific Islanders find themselves in top 14, particularly Fijians. A few Samoans over here as well, Tongans.
Yeah, and countries like that can only benefit from eventually a global season and perhaps a shortening of the domestic competitions here, whether it's the Premiership or the top 14, and allowing more access to the players. And I think it was only the last World Cup in Japan, 2019, the one before France, obviously, where the Tongans, I think, were sharing photos of themselves basically going up to Japan in a cargo plane. No doubt looking at the Instagram posts of the English players and French, etc., coming out business class from Europe.
Henry Anandol, he would have been for certain starting in the first Six Nations game for England, but of course now that he's chosen to come to Racing, he's made himself ineligible. One of the other big hot topics at the moment. Racing on the attack inside the 5-metre line. James Hall wants a penalty and gets one. Not rolling away from the tackle. Yeah, Louis Barassi is the number 22 for Toulouse.
That was a great carry from Francis Sailly. He just looked like he was going to distribute, go up slowly, players roll on a move, and then he really put his head down and went, and it dragged 3 tacklers onto him. So either a penalty was going to ensue, as it did, or they were going to really get on the front foot with a great chance of scoring from this when all the defenders have been sucked in.
Well, they need a score now because they are 2 scores behind. And time is beginning to run out. So this is an absolutely golden opportunity for Racing to get something. They've got to come away from this with some sort of points.
The crowd suspecting this may have been a bit of a sham of a water break from the Toulouse support crew. Just interrupting the flow, perhaps, of Racing, slowing things down, giving the Toulouse team a bit of a breather to
relaunch. So what do you think here? Do you think that they should just take the 3 points and get themselves back inside a try's distance? Or are they now in a position where they're in the middle of the pitch, scrum, go for the try?
Well, it's a little bit of an all or nothing, this one, going for the try, and it can give the defending team Toulouse a huge amount of confidence if they manage to hold Racing out. Whereas taking the 3 points, you know, you've still got to score the try, but you get yourself back in this position. And, you know, maybe at that point Toulouse does start being a bit more careful around the ruck. They don't push things as hard to try and get the steal. They don't want to give away a penalty or even worse, a yellow card. So taking the points when they're there is probably never a bad decision. And saying that, they'll probably score now and make a mockery of what I just said.
Well, it's a gamble, isn't it? That's the thing. The 3 points would be relatively sure from that position. They're going to have to score a try anyway.
It's a great position, you know. You've got both sides of the field, split back line. You've got, you know, 20-odd metres per player. But you've got a guy like Dupont helping defend, who's pretty smart too.
Gone down on this near side. Referee wants to play advantage to Racing. This could be it. They're through. Tristan Tenner touches down. Decision was the right one after all. And Racing are right back in it as they chase after this perfect winning record in top 14 at the Paris La Défense Arena.
Of course they scored, Angus. Of course they did. And it didn't come easily, did it? The first thing you've got to get right is the scrum. It didn't go right. Then there was a huge concentration of players and the defenders on that left side where they attacked as the 2 points are added.
20 points to 22. It's a 2-point game now. And the match of the round is proving to be just that. What a comeback by Racing, and Tristan Tenner leading them. He's gone through Jack Willis to get that try.
Well, I think he's come from behind the scrum too, Tedder, so more attention from Toulouse defenders went on to the next player out. And he managed to get past that first line of defence well, and then obviously show a lot of strength to get over. Great try.
Well, at last something goes right for them. Melion kicks long. Doesn't find touch. Antoine Dupont has it. Into one Cruz Malia. Theo Entamac. Roman's brother, now beginning to make a name of it in his own right in Toulouse colours. Malia, here they come once more. Again, that passing is fluid. Eating up the metres. Toulouse back up to 15 men again after the sin binning of Brennan. Fasuele. No way through there. Again, Khaleesi involved. Oh! Through they come once more, taken on by the Lucette block. And they're going to score through Capuzzo. And the Empire strikes back. Just when you thought Racing were back in it, the champions just remind them you might be leading the table, but we have the cup.
Absolutely ruthless from Toulouse. Capuzzo being the beneficiary at the end. Question marks here, and the Racing crowd is certainly letting the referee know he should be reviewing or looking back at that or regretting his decision if he can't go back and review. But they just had so many numbers at the end. Capuzzo just a canter for him across the line. But on other days, this may well have been called forward. It did seem to go backwards overall, but didn't have control of that ball. Maybe a bit lucky Toulouse, but they certainly capitalised.
Well, he might have been released from the Italian national side, but he's sending a message to the new man in charge that he should be playing in Azzurri blue.
It's hard to fathom why he's not there. I mean, he's been absolutely luminary for the Italian team in the last 2 or 3 years. One of the real sparks. Someone who can inspire both teammates and the Italian supporters in what have been some lean times up till now.
Kinghorn with a difficult conversion that he's hit very well, but he can't quite bend it back enough.
Great timing onto the ball from Capuzzo. They've had good ruck ball all night to lose, so they can run onto that with confidence. He didn't have to hesitate at all. Steaming up on the outside of Dupont. Oh, and it goes from bad to worse to Racing as the kick doesn't even make 10 metres, Angus.
So they'll come back for a scrum on the halfway line. Well, just a minute ago, Tenner was the hero. Now all of a sudden. Well, they've had a lack of control since the time they scored that try, to be quite honest with you, at the beginning of the game. Ever since then, it's almost like they got off to too good a start. And it's almost like they relaxed. Laurent Travers there talking to Didier Lecroix, fellow president. See, they've decided to come out of the VIP zone at the moment.
Maybe somebody didn't book them tickets.
Yes.
Jackie Lorenzetti, the Racing owner as well, going down to join them on the cold hard steps.
Grower has come on for Peter Aki. It's actually the scrum half that would be playing if Antoine Dupont wasn't here. See Dupont come off. Looks like he's gone out to the fly half position.
Further, he was centre.
As you know. Well, he has played at fly half on occasion, Antoine Dupont.
If he's been doing scrum practice with the sevens team, it wouldn't surprise me if he got into hooker either.
C'est bon. Elle peut pas être jouée rapidement, monsieur.
He goes even wider out.
Là, blanc.
Way to test the legs.
Down by Clement Jacques, but managed to offload. Well, this has been a champion's performance. This is a statement win if it holds on here. 7 points in front. Racing here have just been dealt a little dose of reality. Oh, that looks nasty. Oof.
Yes, they'll remain top of the table, Racing, won't they? But as you say, it's the dose of reality from a class outfit that can call on such depth.
Toulouse will certainly go way up above 6th where they are at the moment to what will be their highest position of the season.
Blanc, c'est bon? Reprise du temps.
4 tries they've scored, but not enough for a bonus point. Because Racing have scored a couple themselves. Here's Khaleesi. They need another one here if they're to rescue a draw. That would be unfeasible, wouldn't it? There's the 80 minutes. Racing need to get up the length of the pitch, and they're not going to do it, and Toulouse are going to take the victory. And a famous one it will be as well. Well, since the start of the 2017-18 season, they're the team that have won the most games against Racing, and they've done it to them again. An amazing comeback. They conceded the first try, but they came back like the champions they are to win this by 20 points to 27. Well, that is going to be demoralising for Racing. They came into this match, I'm sure, thinking this is where we're going to make a statement here to say that we are serious about winning this title for the first time since 2016. And instead, it's one of those elusive away wins in top 14. It's